The second year of our relationship was still solid. But everything started falling apart during the third. Vanessa had always loved going out and having a good time. Back when we first started dating in our mid-20s, bar hopping and late nights were common. But over time, her drinking started to go beyond just social fun. What used to be weekend cocktails turned into midweek wine nights. And eventually, she was sipping cocktails at lunch. The first major warning sign came about 6 months ago. It was a Tuesday afternoon when she called me from a Target parking lot. Her voice was thick and slurred. "Babe, my car won't start. Can you come get me?" she said. I asked if she was okay. She insisted she'd just had 2 mimosas during brunch with her friend, Kelsey. But when I got there, it was obvious she was way more than tipsy. The car wasn't the problem, it started just fine. She was simply too drunk to realize she wasn't even turning the key right. I got her home, made her some coffee, and then took her to work. She had a late shift at the upscale hotel where she planned events. She brushed off my concern, saying she didn't start until 4 p.m. anyway. But things didn't stop there. I began finding empty bottles of wine stashed in strange places, behind towels in the linen closet, under the bathroom sink, even in the trunk of her car. It wasn't long before I couldn't ignore it anymore. One night, after she'd had 3 glasses of wine at dinner and was pouring a 4th, I gently told her maybe she should ease up. She laughed and asked, "Are you seriously keeping track of my drinks? What are you now, my babysitter?" I told her I was her boyfriend, not her warden, and that I was genuinely worried. When I mentioned the rosé I'd found hidden behind our winter coats, her face changed. She denied hiding it, said she'd just put it there. When I asked why, she got defensive. "Because you're always judging me, counting my drinks." I reminded her I wasn't trying to control her, I just cared. She snapped. "So now I need supervision." Then her voice rose. "What, am I a child to you? I'm a grown woman. I can drink when I want." That pushed me to ask, "Even at work?" She went quiet. I'd seen her bring a flask to her job before, and she always brushed it off, saying it was for emergencies. But those emergencies were becoming far too frequent. She tried to explain it away. "Work's stressful, you wouldn't get it." I told her drinking at work could ruin her career. She came back with more anger. "You're just trying to control me. I don't have a problem. You have a problem with me having fun." Then came her 28th birthday. She had planned this massive rooftop party, private bar, 50 guests, a new outfit, a professional photographer, the whole deal. She kept saying it was going to be epic. I cautiously brought up the idea of setting some limits on the open bar. She was furious. "You want to control what people drink at my birthday now? What's next? Breathalyzers at the door." Then she hit me with something I didn't expect. "If you're going to be the fun police, maybe you just shouldn't come." I paused, then calmly said, "All right, I won't come." She didn't know how to respond. "Wait, what?" I said again, "It's your party. You should celebrate how you want. No babysitters." She had expected me to beg, to fight back. I didn't. What followed was classic manipulation. First came the silence, 2 full days of it. Then she flipped the script. Suddenly she was sweet and affectionate, cooking my favorite dishes, giving thoughtful little gifts. I noticed her laptop left open, displaying her party plans, with my name still on the guest list. She said softly, "You know I didn't mean what I said, right?" I told her, "But you did. And that's okay. Enjoy your night." She tried a guilt trip next, posting old photos of us online with captions like, "Can't imagine celebrating without my rock." Friends chimed in with things like couple goals and see you both Saturday. I didn't react. No likes. No comments. Nothing. By Thursday, she was desperate. Her best friend Trina called me. "What's going on? Vanessa said you're not coming Saturday." I explained she had told me not to. Trina sounded confused. She said it was just a little fight. I stayed firm. "Ask her about it." There was a pause. Then Trina asked quietly, "Is this about the drinking?" Bingo. Others had noticed too. I asked, "What drinking?" She replied, "Come on. We all know Vanessa parties hard. But it's her birthday. I responded simply. Exactly. It's her night. I'm respecting what she asked. That Friday night, Vanessa made one last attempt. She came home a little buzzed and looked at me. So, you're really not coming tomorrow? I reminded her of what she said. You told me not to come. You never said otherwise. She looked disappointed. I was upset when I said that. I didn't budge. You said it, and you never took it back. And that was it. She shouted that I had humiliated her. Everyone's expecting you, I told her. You should have thought of that, she snapped, before uninviting me. The bedroom door slammed. I didn't argue. I took the couch that night, on purpose. Saturday morning arrived, the day after her birthday. I was up early, made breakfast like nothing had happened. Vanessa wandered out of the bedroom around 10 a.m., clearly hungover from the night before. She said little. One more chance. Please come tonight, I offered. I gave her a polite smile. Enjoy your party, Vanessa. She didn't respond, just left for her hair appointment without another word. I spent the rest of the day keeping busy, cleaning the apartment, hitting the gym, grabbing lunch with my friend Carlos. It felt like any other Saturday. By 3 p.m., my phone started lighting up. Trina, where are you? Vanessa said you're fighting her cousin Malik. Malik, man, you coming tonight or not? And from Sandra, a co-worker. Vanessa looks stressed. Everything okay? I ignored every message. None of it was my responsibility anymore. By 7 p.m., the party was in full swing. Her Instagram said it all. Shots, dancing, friends laughing, posing. I watched it from afar, and in that moment, my absence said more than any argument ever could. Then came the moment of reckoning. Claire lunged for the TV, yanking a flash drive from the port. Too late. Everyone had already seen it. The room froze. I stood slowly, eyes locked on hers. You said I was dull, lazy, that I'd never succeed without you. I pulled an envelope from my coat pocket and dropped it on the coffee table. That's the contract. I just sold the startup you mocked, for $3.4 million. She turned pale. And yes, I continued, it's all in my name, thanks to that prenup you rushed to sign, called it a formality, remember? She collapsed into a chair, stunned. Her mouth opened, but no words came. Then her father broke the silence. Claire, is this true? She didn't answer. But her sister did. Holy shit, she whispered. You got played. I grabbed my coat and moved toward the door. Oh, one more thing, I said, pausing. No need to split the house. I've already filed for divorce. Cited adultery. You're not getting it. The entire room stared, judgment heavy in the air. Merry Christmas, I said before walking out. Behind me, Claire sat in silence, the gathering now a courtroom. Her confident smirk had withered. No one stepped in to defend her. And in just one day, everything started to crumble. By the time I checked into a quiet hotel on the edge of the city, I'd already missed 37 calls from her. The texts kept coming. Anger. Pleading. Regret. You embarrassed me. We can fix this. Please don't do this. People are calling me. I never replied. But others did. One of her cousins, who had been in the room that night, also worked at her company. She forwarded the footage to Human Resources. The response was immediate. Claire and Jeremy, the man she'd cheated with, were suspended pending a formal investigation. That cheap motel they'd used for their affair wasn't just personal, it was a corporate liability. Sensitive data, breached trust, everything was at risk. 2 days later, Jeremy's wife posted screenshots of the video online, tagging names. It went viral. Over 10,000 shares in 2 days. The comment section turned savage. Isn't she an operations director? Didn't she post Bible quotes last week? Hypocrite. Trash. By the end of the week, they were both fired. No severance, no clean exit, just public, brutal dismissal. And that was only the start. Her father stopped speaking to her. Her mother sent me a quiet apology. Even her sister, who once cheered her on for leaving me, now kept her distance. In a matter of days, Claire lost everything she'd thought she was in control of. And I didn't have to lift a finger. She messaged me privately, apologetic. But by then, none of it mattered. She had deceived everyone, not just me. Claire's web of lies unraveled, and suddenly, the friends and family who once celebrated her so-called freedom distanced themselves. She became a pariah overnight. Jeremy, the man she left me for, vanished. He cut all contact, blocked her, changed his number, quit his job, and moved to another state with his wife. Rumor had it, his wife gave him a final ultimatum. Get help, start over far away, or lose the children. He chose to salvage what he had left. Claire wasn't just left by me. She was abandoned by the very person she betrayed me for. Now she sat in silence, unemployed, humiliated, and viral for all the wrong reasons. Her downfall became entertainment. Every cruel word she'd ever spoken echoed back at her across comment sections and gossip threads. It was a cold, overcast Sunday when she returned. Rain tapped gently on the windows of my small downtown apartment. I was in the kitchen, quietly brewing coffee. The apartment was peaceful, minimal, clean, unburdened by the past. Then came the knock. Soft, hesitant. But I already knew it was her. I opened the door. Claire stood there, a shell of who she used to be. Her eyes were hollow, makeup streaked, lips dry and cracked. Her coat looked soaked through, yet she clutched it tightly as if it was the only thing holding her together. "Please," she whispered. "Can I come in?" I didn't say anything. I simply stepped aside. She entered slowly, eyes scanning the room as though searching for remnants of the life she'd walked away from. But it was gone. Nothing familiar remained. "I've lost everything," she said, easing herself into a chair she hadn't been invited to. "My job, my family. Jeremy's gone. I'm staying in my cousin's basement. I have nothing." I remained silent. "I know I messed up," she continued, voice cracking. "It was the worst mistake of my life. But I didn't mean to hurt you. I swear." I stood motionless for a while before responding. "You didn't just hurt me," I said, voice calm. "You humiliated me, lied to me, used me." Her eyes shimmered with unshed tears. "I deserve everything that's happened. But please. I need help. Just a chance to start over." And there it was, the truth behind her visit. Not love. Not guilt. Just desperation. She needed a lifeline, and she thought I'd be it. But the man who once would have done anything for her? He no longer existed. That man died the moment she handed me divorce papers and toasted to her freedom while I stood there in disbelief. I met her gaze and spoke quietly. "I hope you do start over. Truly. But you'll be doing it without me." Her expression shifted, confusion replacing hope. "What do you mean?" I walked to the door and opened it. "I forgave you a long time ago," I said. "But forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. And it doesn't mean you get to be part of my life." She stood frozen, unsure of what to say. I didn't yell. I didn't curse her. I didn't revel in her pain. I simply gave her what she feared most, indifference. With slumped shoulders, she turned and stepped back into the gray drizzle outside. I closed the door behind her, for the final time. In the end, real revenge wasn't found in her public humiliation, her unemployment, or the endless online ridicule. It was in rising quietly, rebuilding a life she could no longer touch. She chased a fantasy, thinking she could trade me for something better. But in doing so, she lost everything. And I found peace. Not through vengeance, but through silence, growth, and the decision to walk away with my dignity intact, while her world crumbled quietly behind her.